Newshour Debate number 2. Bishen Singh Bedi, former Indian cricket captain, debating with Atul Wasan, former Indian test cricketer. Gulu Ezekiel, one of the most respected sports journalists. Aslam Ghoni, former member of the legal committee of the BCCI, is always very happy to defend Mr. Srinivasan. And Kishore, Bhimani, senior sports journalist, not ascribing any bias to him at the start of this debate. Now, gentlemen, let me tell you this. Lalit Modi is joining us in a minute. And I know that's a debate many of us are looking forward to. Okay, so before we get Lalit Modi on, Bishen Singh Bedi. Bishen Singh Bedi, and I saw a smile there in Gulu Ezekiel's face. I mentioned Lalit Modi joining him on a debate. I'm sure he's got quite a few questions to ask him there. Bishen Singh Bedi, you know, he is not speaking, Mr. Srinivasan, but basically his line is, and there's Lalit Modi. His line is that, you know, he's my son-in-law. I'm not indicted. If he's got a problem, he's going to deal with it. It's not Srinivasan indicted, it's Gurunath Mayappan indicted. Stop targeting me for it. Bishen Singh Bedi, you buy that?
Arnab, the sound is not terribly good, I'm afraid. But we all know what the story has and how the story has unfolded today. And I think we must congratulate Mr. Justin Mudgal for bringing out in the open what was always in the open, to be honest, but for some odd reason it was kept in the wraps. And I feel that judiciary is the only source which can keep this nation afloat. I mean, we're talking about corruption in just about every walk of life and trying to eradicate the same. But for some stupid reason, cricket remains aloof in the sense that, yes, they can get away with whatever they want to, even murder. And I think they probably might have reached the end of the road. That is the way I would like to look at it. And once again, I feel that the judiciary is the most vital cog in this entire episode.
Right.
And I've been saying it all along.
The question is,
was the most legitimate child of cricket ever since its inception.
Illegitimate child of cricket since its inception. That's the credit you give to Lalit Modi there. And I'm sure Lalit Modi nodding there in agreement with what you're saying. My question to...
I don't nod with this agreement.
You don't? Then what were you nodding for?
It's not a
Lalit Modi?
I was nodding on something else I was reading on a tweet. Okay.
Right. Now, Lalit Modi, before I come to you, Gulu Ezekiel, who should take responsibility? Can Srinivasan sort of distance himself from Gurunath Mayappan? And what do you think of Lalit Modi using the opportunity here to constantly send tweets, make a documentary and continue to target Mr. Srinivasan? Isn't that a little, you know...
Well, you know, one of the most cliched phrases which we've been using for a long time for Mr. Lalit Modi is pot calling the kettle black. Sorry to keep repeating myself like a stuck record, but you know, Mr. Modi was the vice president when this whole nonsense started back in 2008, and the rules of the constitution of the BCCI were changed with his tacit support and with the support of everybody else to allow a board official to own a franchise. Now that is the beginning of all this absolute, you know, scandalous nonsense that has been going on. And, you know, Bishen called it the illegitimate form of cricket. I mean, it's, for me, it's the root of all evil in cricket, because the only incentive here is ego and money and nothing else. And it's, you know, it's just completely out of control. And I just don't know how, you know, this cancer can be stopped from spreading. It's spread throughout, and it's just destroying cricket from top to bottom, as people like Bishen and I have known and loved cricket all our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you see Lalit Modi. Atul, Kishore, Bhimani, Aslam Ghoni, I'm just coming in. The problem is, you see, look at Lalit Modi. Lalit Modi uses the opportunity to do what he does best. You know, fire pot shots at Mr. Srinivasan. Now fine, Mr. Srinivasan has really got a lot to answer for. Let me begin by saying that. But if there's another person who has a lot to answer for tonight, and the person who should also take some responsibility for the findings of the Justice Mukul Mudgal Committee report, and maybe Lalit Modi has not read this one, is Lalit Modi. Because Sundar Raman, the IPL CEO...
I completely agree.
You completely agree, is it? So Sundar Raman, the IPL CEO...
Absolutely agree.
Who appeared before the Mudgal committee, said that the status of, quote, the ultimate owner is not clear. And that the term, quote, owner for the purpose of accreditation is loosely used. He also said, Mr. Modi, that the IPL Governing Council had made no effort to determine who the ultimate owners of the franchisees were. I thought you made the league. These were rules you made.
Okay.
Who made these ambiguous rules, Mr. Modi?
Can I answer the question?
Who made the ambiguous rules?
If I can answer now, Mr. Raman is completely wrong when he says that, because it's part of a cover-up.
I thought he was your man when you were the IPL chief. He was your number 2.
Is asking him. Justice, hold on. We never gave out accreditation to people who are not owners. We confirmed it. We have it in writing. We have all the documentation trail for that. Now, if he says he doesn't have that and they don't have it anymore, or they don't do it anymore, then it's part of a bigger cover-up. If you look at what was just said a minute ago, in regard to I sat on the approval of Mr. Srinivasan being actually allowed to take ownership of a team by changing the rules. Actually, I did not sit in that meeting. It was very clearly in the Mudgal report on page 66. Mr. Bindras clearly pointed out, and which I have been saying all along, that
Kishore, Bhimani.
It was backdated, the documentation was backdated by Mr. Srinivasan, and I was not even in that meeting. So somebody does backdating of the documentation and then present it later on. I'm sorry, I'm not to blame for it.
Oh, really? You weren't, is it? So when were you IPL chief till? Lalit Modi?
Sorry, excuse me, 1 minute.
When were you? No. When were you IPL chief till?
Till 2010.
And after that, you ran away to the United Kingdom.
You may call it running away. I didn't run away. I'm still on your show. You may call it running away. But
I don't know.
If you had somebody shooting at you, then you would be running away too.
Well, really, let me tell you,
just because you got a James Bond tune on your phone doesn't mean that you're not indispensable. If somebody takes a shot at you, then you'll run away too. I can assure you that.
Well, I think it's silly. I don't think my caller tune has anything to do with my question, Mr. Lalit Modi. It's clear to me that you are out of answers. The fact of the matter is that Atul Wasan, let me get to it.
If you bring up the issue, I'm going to answer it back the way
I'm going to ask you the question, Mayappan. You see, because you're the man taking as holier than thou attitude, you see, Mr. Lalit Modi. And if I say today, Mr. Lalit Modi, you're a fugitive, you get all het up and you get angry and you send out 1,000 tweets. Now, my question to you is, Mr. Lalit Modi, and my question to you is...
If you have the guts, call me that.
Well,
call me that if you have the guts, then I'll have an answer for you.
Well, Mr. Lalit Modi, in popular perception, many people feel you are a fugitive from Indian law.
Well, in perception, you are the one who's the judge and adjudicator, and according to the popular person around the world. So don't tell me what I am and not, and why do you want me on your show otherwise?
Well,
so
I'm still a journalist.
It's not about me and you.
Anyway, my question is, it's not about you and me exactly. So here's a question, Atul Wasan. Atul Wasan, answer the question straight. Mayappan attends an IPL owners workshop in 2009.
Questions.
No, don't say. The person who's there from London who gets angry if I say that popular perception is that he's a fugitive, Lalit Modi. Right? He was heading the IPL at that point.
You won't have me on your show. I have no time for people like you, Arnab. If you are going to call me that, then I can tell you right now that I have no time for a person like you. I really don't.
Now here's a question, Lalit Modi. Here's a question, Lalit Modi. If Mayappan wasn't team owner, my question to Atul was a serious question, Mr. Modi. Don't threaten to walk out of my show. Right? My question is to Atul Wasan.
I'm not walking out, I'm sitting right here.
Well, you're sitting right here and listen to the question, Mr.
You
Modi.
You cut the feed,
well,
whether you like it or not.
Mr. Modi, listen to me. Right? Let's take the tough question. If Mayappan was not the team owner, Atul Wasan, isn't it legitimate to ask, did Lalit Modi verify why he was attending an IPL owners workshop? Was that a consequence of the ambiguity in rules as well?
He was the team owner.
No, but there was no guarantee that he was the team owner.
He was the team owner. I'm not saying he wasn't.
Well, there was
I guarantee it.
Atul.
Thanks. Coming back to the topic, which is more pertinent today. We're just digressing a bit because the issue was that hindsight is such a lovely thing, and I think it was a foolhardy attempt by Mr. Srinivasan saying he was just an enthusiast at that point. He thought that this is just going to finish off, blow over, and they can get back to whatever they were doing. At the same point, Mr. Modi just half an hour ago accused there's no players coming out because everybody has got something hooked to it, and they're commentators, coaches, and all. Let me just put the record straight that I've got nothing to do with the board, and I don't actually use this platform to actually make an agenda. I'm just giving a balanced view because I'm not as rabid as some people are, and they just want to burn and finish the whole thing. I'm just saying where do we go from here? I think mistakes have been made. They know that they tried to cover up that Mayappan was not involved, and we are talking about and discussing that is wasting time. That is all done and dusted. That's settled now. What happens now is the code of conduct. Now, IPL.
One minute.
And they were making rules as they go along. Mr. Modi will agree here. And I think when you agreed to the conflict of interest at that point, there's no point going back to it at why it was done because moral and ethical values come later. So now we should move on. That what should be done now?
No. I'm not ready to move on so quickly.
Or these
no, I'm not ready to move on so quickly. I believe sometimes that the act of moving on is an attempt. No.
This is the second mistake.
No. I don't believe in this business of moving on.
You got to listen to Arnab. Arnab has. You got to listen to Judge Arnab. Judge Arnab has the answers. Why are you all intervening? Let him talk. Let him answer. Why are we all here?
Lalit Modi, look how peeved you get.
I'm saying that, and it's not wrong to say that when you create a new thing,
I'm just saying that I'm giving you the credit, Judge Arnab.
No, how do you handle it is the problem.
Without doubt. I mean, go ahead.
Fine.
So I think Mr. Modi will agree that he created a monster which has come back and bit him now, so there's no way going back.
Without doubt, I agree. Atul is absolutely right. We need to find a solution going forward.
Or just a slap on the wrist, that's for that. But the players should not suffer. I'm glad that IPL auction is going ahead. It's sub judice, and the players, if at all, if the team has to be sold to a next best bidder or a fair market value, let it be. Let it be out of the hands of the current incumbent owners.
Now, I'm not even concerned who it's bought and sold by. I am not even asking right now whether Shilpa Shetty allowed her husband to use the phone to place bets. Though I really think Ms. Shilpa Shetty should come and explain questions such as that as well. The fact of the matter is I don't believe in this let's move on business. When we say let's move on and when we ask questions such as what are the lessons that we can learn from this? In other words, we are saying we won't go back to the muck. I'll go back to the muck. I'll go back to the muck because there is muck.
That's where we move on to now.
No. 1 second. The question is, Kishore Bhimani, you see, now, Lalit Modi, by the way, Lalit Modi, I began by saying that, your best friend, Mr. Srinivasan, has a hell of a lot to answer for, right? Including how he can draw a line between himself and his son.
That's the problem. I'm always there to answer your question. He's never there to answer yours.
Well, I'll be happy.
Anybody else's.
I'll be happy to get him with you.
But I've been waiting for that for the last 6 months.
Well, sure. We will try. Now, the question is, Kishore Bhimani, this report makes a mention, because Lalit Modi is here, let's ask him the questions. This report makes a mention of Lalit Modi, in my view. It says, and I don't know, that a former official who was not named, there Lalit Modi starts looking at the papers again. He doesn't believe that I'm quoting it right. It says that a former official...
I want to read it myself.
Thank you. I'm glad that you are going to go through it, the appropriate parts of it, not those you want to selectively pick up. It says that a former official, Kishore Bhimani, who wasn't named, told the committee that the amendment to the rule 6.2.4 to allow BCCI administrators to own teams was brought in at your behest, that is Lalit Modi's behest, because you weren't able to find franchisees. Now, therefore, somebody tweaked the rules to get more franchisees in.
Can I answer?
No, 1 second. The question is...
Hold on, can I answer?
Kishore Bhimani, let Kishore Bhimani give a perspective, please. Did you tweak, did Lalit Modi not tweak the rules in September 2008 when he was the enfant terrible of Indian cricket to enable a situation where a conflict of interest might arise? In fact, I'd say the godfather of conflict of interest is Lalit Modi. Kishore Bhimani, what do you think?
Well, may I? The answer is in 3 parts. One of them is that I think we were discussing this Mudgal report and the fact of Srinivasan, whether his position was tenable. But since you asked this question, I believe, as a follower of cricket and as a follower of IPL right from the beginning, that at the outset, there was not as much interest shown in purchasing of the teams, of laying out hundreds of crores of rupees to buy players, and perhaps the originator of this, Lalit Modi, might have tried his best to try and get more people in. To look at it one way, that maybe his relatives. Now, this whole business of the relatives comes in, Chelaram and others. I believe that there was a feeling, I was one of them who felt that this thing would never sell. There were hundreds like me who felt that IPL would never sell. And maybe he did tweak the rules. Maybe he did...
so he tweaked the rules.
Whatever it was.
No, he tweaked the rules.
11.3. I thought
he tweaked the rules.
11.3 at the moment.
Look at what all he did. He tweaked the rules. He didn't do anything when there were allegations of money laundering. He didn't do anything when there were allegations of tax evasion. He didn't do anything when there were allegations of foreign exchange violation.
Where are you getting all of this from?
Where am I getting it from?
Where are you getting all of this from? Are you dreaming this up?
From facts.
Like you normally do?
Maybe you're not aware of it. Maybe you're not aware of the FEMA violations. Maybe you're not aware of the allegations about the misappropriation of funds. Maybe you're not aware of the blue notices and the revocation of your own passport.
Because it's politically motivated.
Politically motivated. Standard answer.
Very clearly in the courts.
Standard answer. 14.
You want to blame the ails of Mayappan on me? Go for it. Arnab, go for it. The whole world is watching you. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm sitting right here. Well, I don't even know whether you are aware that there are 14 alleged contraventions. What I'm asking you.
Has got the internet rights.
What I'm asking you today, Lalit Modi, what I'm asking you today is that, of course, Gurunath Mayappan has to answer questions and so does Mr. Srinivasan. The question is, the IPL was facing allegations of money laundering, tax evasion, foreign exchange violation when you were IPL chief. So on what grounds are you claiming that the IPL was clean in your time? Was the IPL clean in your time?
1 second.
My question to you is, was the IPL clean in your time?
Very clean in my time.
It was clean.
Without doubt, it was very clean. There was nothing happened in my watch.
Aslam Ghoni.
It all depends on whose watch it is.
Aslam Ghoni, Lalit Modi says...
He asked me the question, before I can answer, he goes to somebody else.
No, Aslam...
That's Arnab Goswami.
No, Aslam Ghoni.
Doesn't like to hear. Either you want to hear your own voice, or you want to hear somebody else's voice, or you want to hear your own answers.
Lalit Modi, come on, when I ask questions, when I ask questions, Lalit Modi, there you are again. When I asked tough questions to Srinivasan, and when we were exposing the IPL scam, there you were tweeting away in applause, saying, great questions, great.
I'm ready to answer
and today,
the question.
when we ask you the questions, you get all.
Answer the question.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. By your own confessions.
I'm ready to answer the question.
For God's sake, what are you saying? By your own confessions, the 2009 IPL auctions were rigged. It happened when you were the IPL commissioner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why, by your own admission?
What are you talking about, auction being rigged?
Lalit Modi, you claimed that the 2009 IPL auction was rigged in favor of Chennai Super Kings, whose owner Srinivasan is the BCCI chief.
Word so big, it was auction was rigged. You like to throw these big phrases out. That's up to you.
Lalit Modi, your words
and shouting and
your words,
bringing it back to me.
Your words, you said.
It's not about me.
Said.
I'm already sitting outside. I'm already been banned by them for life. It's okay.
Yeah, but
it's not about me.
Yeah, but you said
it's not about me.
Yeah, but you said you were arm twisted to allow Andrew Flintoff to go to Chennai Super Kings.
Yes,
you said the Flintoff auction was rigged.
Twisted, but you keep in mind. Yes, I was arm twisted.
So there it is. So what are you complaining about?
Problem.
So what are you complaining about?
I'm not complaining. I'm saying it is. I don't deny it.
Bishen Singh Bedi. Bishen Singh Bedi, not convinced. Bishen Singh Bedi.
Do you not know the workings of the board of cricket?
No,
Are you so blind to the workings of the board of cricket?
We basically...
Are you so blind to the fact what is happening in front of you?
Lalit Modi, we go to the core of the issue. Here's a man, Bishen Singh Bedi, who forever says that this is the evil child of Indian cricket. He is listening tonight to you. and let him respond to you.
Listen, it's got nothing to do with evil child, evil not child. The whole world cricket has been taken over by this gentleman. He changed the constitution of the BCCI, Tamil Nadu Cricket
Are we talking that?
IPL, Champions League,
Bishen Singh Bedi. Bishen Singh Bedi.
The point being very clearly, what is the impact of all of this?
Bishen Bedi.
If you're going to have a person sitting on top,
Bishen Bedi, Aslam Ghoni, Gulu Ezekiel, all want to come in.
Just filter down.
Bishen Bedi first.
Well, if you can let me speak.
Yes.
You know the second edition of the IPL, which is taken to South Africa?
Yeah.
The accounts of that edition are still not settled. And despite all the notices given by the Enforcement Directorate, there's nobody in the IPL or the BCCI willing to respond. And if people wish to travel or stay away from India, well, good luck to them. But that does not absolve the problems created by them. And I firmly believe that, you know, all this could not have happened without the connivance of 3 or 4 political parties. And people who are now involved, as we see it, or are now being exposed by the Supreme Court of India, well,
okay.
They were there earlier also. I mean, they were exposed earlier. But they could have been wrapped up in cotton wool. Not anymore.
Okay, what's it?
Thanks to Justice Mudgal.
Okay. Aslam Ghoni, page 50 of this report. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen page 50 of this report? I think it indicts Srinivasan as the owner of CSK to failing to rein in Mayappan. Do you feel Mr. Srinivasan should take responsibility? Srinivasan, do you believe, should take responsibility for what his son-in-law did?
Arnab, please, I first may tell you that as you referred Mr. Modi saying that his best friend, Srinivasan, I have seen them to be best friends with each other.
Okay.
It's only clash of interest, and ever you told at the first that I have been defending Srinivasan.
Yeah, you have been.
You are extremely wrong in saying that. Please, listen to me. Listen to me. I have not been defending Srinivasan. I have always been saying that until and unless there is not final investigation and final report from any panel of the committee appointed, and here now, it is not now a panel appointed by the BCCI. It's not an investigation being conducted by some police officer in charge of a police station. This is a panel which has been constituted by the Apex Court, and this panel report definitely means a lot for me as a lawyer. This panel report means, if, you know, on one side it's saying that Mayappan was involved in batting and leaking the information, and on the other side Srinivasan saying that no, he was just a cricket enthusiast. It is something which is seriously to be considered by the Apex Court, and I won't be giving a judgment on that, and nor do I expect any one of you to give a judgment on that. You see, this is something now sub judice before the court.
What
this
a big U-turn you are doing, Mr. Aslam Ghoni. Just a few months back, you were violently supporting Mr. Srinivasan.
Yes, I was not supporting him. I was, listen, Mr. Arnab, you see, this is problem with you when you become judge yourself. This is problem with you. I told you that I always said that let the investigation take its course, let whatever the committee is made or whatever the panel is made or whatever the judicial commission is made, let them give the report and then you talk, because you want a child without a marriage. Your problem is that. You always want that a child should come before marriage.
I think never
it would happen.
Because you are no longer actively associated with the BCCI,
it would never happen. Never it has ever been happen. If the child in such a way comes, that's an illegitimate child.
Come on, Mr. Let's not.
You have to have a legitimate action.
No.
You are living in a democracy.
Arnab, can I come in?
Kishore Bhimani, come on, Mr. Ghoni. When you do a U-turn, you accept I'm doing a U-turn. Ask Kishore Bhimani, please.
Come in on this.
Kishore Bhimani, please. Kishore Bhimani to Aslam Ghoni.
Mr. Ghoni allows me to speak.
I am telling you today.
I'd like to.
Yes.
No, Mr. Aslam Ghoni is doing the biggest U-turn in the history of Indian television, and Kishore Bhimani is responding to you. Kishore Bhimani, please, to Aslam Ghoni.
Go ahead. You keep on shifting.
Mr. Ghoni, let me speak.
Mr. Ghoni, you did the U-turn. You did the U-turn. You were the Srinivasan man. You came on the program and you defended him when all the talk about Gurnath Mayappan was on.
I am telling you that this is a very serious affair.
Oh,
but
yes, it wasn't
Arnab
serious.
Goswami is nobody to give a judgment.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm not giving a judgment. I'm just saying you are doing the U-turn. I'm saying you are doing the U-turn.
Let the Honorable Apex Court decide about it.
Everyone
As
remembers.
Mr. Bishen Singh Bedi said, that we have got only hope, that is the judiciary. That is the judiciary which we have
Aslam
hope.
Ghoni, Kishore Bhimani, please. Kishore Bhimani is responding now. 1 second, Aslam Ghoni. Kishore Bhimani.
Don't dilute the issues. Don't give
Kishore Bhimani, please. Please adjust.
Mr. Aslam Ghoni, let me
Arnab can't
speak.
accept the truth. It's okay. He wants his
It's
master's
very difficult
voice
to speak over a monologue, however powerful your lungs may be. I'd like to say very clearly that there is nothing sub judice about what we are discussing.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I would like that gentleman to let me speak.
What are you
I
talking?
beseech
This
him
report has been
to give me
submitted
a
to
chance
Supreme
to
Court.
say something.
I think you are most ill-informed person. This report has been submitted by Model Committee to Supreme Court.
You can make any personal remarks about me you like. I know a little more about cricket
because you are not telling the right thing. You are telling the wrong thing.
Don't tell me I don't know anything.
On a national channel, you are telling the wrong thing. Is it not a fact that Model Committee is appointed by
you have no knowledge of what we are discussing.
Is it not a fact that this report has been submitted to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, but it has found
Tell me
certain
if it's wrong.
conclusions.
I may be wrong.
No idea what you are talking about.
Mr. First of all, I just want to say here that there is a part called conclusions of the committee.
My remarks.
No.
All he did was interrupt Arnab.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Bhimani, and please don't interrupt, sir, for 2 minutes. Yes, sir. Mr. Bhimani. Yes, Mr. Bhimani.
Yes.
No, but
I would like him to try and hear for a change.
What do you feel that your program look nice?
Okay, Mr. Ghoni, 1 second. Yes.
The point is that he is talking about something sub judice. My point is that what we are discussing is the culpability of Mr. Srinivasan vis-a-vis Gurunath Mayappan.
Yeah.
My issue is
so you want
Gurunath
to give a judgment
Mayappan
before Supreme Court on that.
Why are you not letting him speak?
Again, he'll keep on talking. I cannot believe that a man can be...
This is wrong. This is wrong. Whatever you are saying is
so
wrong.
ill-mannered.
It's wrong.
What do you mean it is wrong?
Let me finish the sentence.
No, 1 second, 1 minute. Mr. Ghoni, I have the conclusions of the committee with me, okay? In case you've not seen it, the conclusion of the committee says A, the role of Mr. Gurunath Mayappan in Chennai Super Kings as the team official stands proved. And the allegations of betting and passing on of information against Gurunath Mayappan stand proved. However, the allegations of fixing require further investigation. Why are you getting so worked up?
He has not to give a verdict on this.
Why are you?
I am not to give a verdict on this.
Okay, now please let the other point, let someone else also
Who's giving a verdict?
Yeah, Mr.
We are trying to analyze something that is happening.
Yeah.
This gentleman here
doesn't
seem to be
you cannot analyze more better than
okay,
the
now
Apex
please,
Court.
I
cannot claim to analyze more better than the Apex Court.
Yeah.
Look, don't talk about court. We are not talking about court. We are talking about a Times Now program.
1 second.
No,
now can we? I am requesting you.
Just to make a mockery.
I am requesting you. Otherwise, I am going to cut off the volume. Mr. Ghoni, 1 second, please. Let Mr. Bhimani speak.
Yes,
the critical and most important issue. The critical and most important issue, Mr. Ghoni. If you don't mind my going back to the subject. My real issue here today is, can Mr. Srinivasan get away? The question is, can Mr. Srinivasan get away? Atul Wasan, it's his son-in-law. He's the team principal, okay? He is the person who said he's only an enthusiast of the game.
Very serious thing for
Mr. Ghoni, please.
Very serious thing. But you and me are not there to decide about it. It's Supreme Court.
Mr. Atul Wasan, Srinivasan.
I've heard both sides of the view. One guy is defending, very.
I don't think anybody is allowed to complete a sentence with Mr. Ghoni around.
These things till the cows come home. It's a question of moral and ethics
I'm
again.
not defending Atul. Listen, I'm not defending anyone.
He has not been found doing anything. Now the ball is in the court of the board and the governing council. How they take these and put the penalty on Super King. You know, I'm very upset about IPL being called an illegitimate child, and Bishen Paji, who's like my father, calling it a bastard. You know, this bastard is paying for so many careers, you know. It's made lives of players who only played a few times for India and never even played, and they can actually, you know, stand with dignity, and their whole future is secure of the families. So please don't use these words for at least the product which has brought so much joy and so much
Mr. Bedi, you want to take that back?
I just hope that, you know, just focusing on one person is not going to solve the problem.
Mr. Bedi, you want to take that back before I go to the break?
The board is going to take this ruling and penalize Super King.
Mr. Bedi, you want to take that back? You want to take that back, Mr. Bedi, before I go to the break? You want to take that description back?
I don't know.
Mr. Bedi, do you want to take that description back of the IPL?
What's that?
Which Atul Wasan disagreed with? Do you want to take that back?
But we have seen 3 or 4 young kids who were banned for life. One day.
And Arnab, let that envelope be opened where 6 names are there for the players, capped players from India, who have also been mentioned, you know, with doing something. So, you know, the Pandora's box is still to be opened.
Okay.
If only
Wait
money,
for next month.
Listen, if only money could buy good cricketing acumen,
Gentlemen,
then we would have not many rich.
Gentlemen, I'm taking a break. I'm back in 3-4 minutes. And the question here is really, can Srinivasan draw that line of culpability between himself and his son-in-law? Back in a couple of minutes. Lalit Modi incorrectly says that that his feed has been cut because we wouldn't want his views on the debate. In fact, it's Lalit Modi who's left the program. We would very much want him to come back if he can take the questions. Lalit Modi, you're welcome. At least you give the correct facts to all your panelists there. Anyway, while we wait for Lalit Modi to come, Atul Wasan, you made an interesting point there. You said some other players. Which other players? Which other players were you talking about? Can you elaborate?
Even in the seed envelope, there are 6 names in it.
Right.
It's probably, if we, we can be hopeful that on the 7th of March, when the next hearing comes, and it's the report, the committee has mentioned that there have been wrongdoings from them, and all of them are capped players, you know. So this is the report coming in, and I don't know what names are there, what is to be done with that. Is there an inquiry? I'm sure, I've heard there is an inquiry by various agencies into
what does it say about these capped players?
And so I think there is...
Yeah, I've been hearing this rumor, and of course it is a fact. Atul is absolutely correct that there is a sealed envelope which was handed over and which has not been made public, and who the names are and what the names are and what their status is and whether there are any owners involved in that and board officials. I'm frankly...
what does it say?
Two of them are on the current tour of New Zealand as well.
I'm absolutely
two current players on the tour of New Zealand, and a total of 6 cap players accused of doing what, Atul?
I don't know. Let's wait for that envelope to be opened.
That envelope, if it's opened, I mean, you talk about Pandora's box, it will bring down Indian cricket, apparently. That's what my information is.
So it should. But, so what? I mean,
exactly
it would also...
it's going to be revealed and how it's going to be revealed is beyond me.
No, it's also going to clean up.
That is the point which is more, worrying me more than what happens now with Mr. Srinivasan and all that thing, guilty by association. If that is true, I'm not trying to defend it, so don't go after me immediately and don't hound me out of the show as you did with Mr. Modi. I'm just saying that by that rule...
But Mr. Modi went away from the show. Who's hounded him out? Mr. Modi went away from the show.
Srinivasan's brother should be removed as well because he's his brother. So it's like the chain goes on and on.
No. By the way,
Arnab,
I think this
Arnab,
is very serious.
One of my phrases, excuse me. One of my phrases you're putting at the bottom of the screen, which I use, pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Another one, as far as this gentleman fleeing the studio, rats always leave the sinking ship. Okay? So that's another cliche for you.
I hope that this ship is not sinking. I just hope that we plug the leaks and make it more robust.
Believe me, this is the Titanic of world cricket. This is the Titanic of world cricket. It's hit an iceberg. And all I'd like to say is that, I would be tempted to print T-shirts and distribute them all over India. God bless you, Justice Mudgal, because this is the one gentleman that is going to save world cricket from utter disgrace. And God bless him, and I think Bishen joins me in such sentiments.
But Bishen Bedi and Kishore Bhimani, I'd also like to come to you. Don't you think? I mean, I think even if it is big names, and if it is being alleged there are 2 players who are on the New Zealand tour, big names, whatever the allegations against them are, let the names come out, right? What do you think, First, let me go to you, Kishore Bhimani. Let the big names come out. We want the big names out.
Well, Arnab, I'd like to say this. There is far too much speculation. These rumors have been circulating. We've all been privy to them. Names have been mentioned. But I am firmly of the opinion that until and unless that envelope is handed over, unless it's opened, unless there are some names in it, and unless they've got some supporting evidence that this is what has happened, I think we are just floundering in the dark. I don't think since the Azharuddin days till today, there have been no big names, if you can mention, if you can accept Srishant from this, who have nearly come out into any kind of, we have had this kind of rumor floating since the 80s.
Yeah.
And I would like to wait till whatever day it is when these things come out. But I really wouldn't like to comment on it because as a journalist, as a commentator, as a traveler with cricket for 41 years, there have been far too many
No, I think those 5 names should come out. What do you think, Bishen Bedi? I think they should come out.
Sorry, I didn't get you then.
My question, I wanted your view on whether these 5 names that Atul Wasan referred to, Mr. Bedi, should come out. In your view, I think they should. I don't think cricket lovers will be shocked. They may be grateful.
They should, but we should know the names first, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And in fact, this is the right moment for everything that needs to come out, must come out.
Absolutely.
No, I don't agree, Arnab. You know why? Because, there's still a lot of work needs to be done to actually get more evidence. They're really involved to actually prove them. Because if names come out, we know what kind of speculation is there. And I don't want any players being hounded until there is, enough proof against them to be actually convicted or actually the authorities going after them. So if the authorities are not going after them, then they should remain anonymous till that time when we actually have something against anybody who's indulging in malpractice.
Well, let them...
What are we talking about, Atul?
And various agencies are there. It's just not the board.
The authorities themselves...
No. I'm talking about the agencies. There's the police, there's the enforcement directorate, there are other, law enforcement agencies who must be doing whatever they're supposed to be done because now the matter is in court. Now this committee, do you remember the earlier committee which was formed in such a hurry and one member didn't even turn up for that committee and everybody was given the clean sheet. And that's where, the uproar started. And thankfully, we are here in a committee where everybody has faith on.
Well,
their reputation is impeccable and they have done what they were supposed to do. And I must credit Mr. Mudgal.
Well, I don't know who those big names are. I've heard of some big names too. And I think if Mr. Srinivasan wants complete transparency, Mr. Srinivasan, declare the names of the 5 people and tell us if Atul Wasan is correct that 2 of those 5 people are currently playing on the New Zealand tour. I don't know. I'd like to know, however. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. And by the way, Lalit Modi didn't come back. Thanks for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.